What up, peeps? It's Nez, and I'm up in the kitchen dropping another impromptu review on y'all. And this time, what we're gonna be doing a review of is the instant cold brewer. It's also a 2-in-1 cold brew and iced tea maker. Now, I happened to pick this up on eBay, literally for 20 bucks. It was like new condition. And I already took the liberty of taking out the box and inspecting all the pieces because I want to make sure nothing was broke, and I also wanted to wash everything down. So I'm just going to basically just go around the box, let you see the box, and then I'm going to just show you all the pieces that are sitting in my dish rack right now. But before we get into all that, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so that way you'll be notified of any future reviews. So now that I got the politics out the way, let's get into this. This is the front of the box. Bam, it's instant cold brewer. Make the cold brew in 20 minutes. You can pause and read as needed. This is what she looks like. Top of the box. This side of the box looks like you got some cold brew action going on there. Other side of the box. Discover amazing, baby. Back of the box, just going over all the parts. It's dishwasher safe. I would make sure that's top rack, not bottom rack. You got your lid, carafe, filter, and then the base. Bottom of the box. Just like to show you that stuff. All right. Now you see the box. Here go all my parts in the dish rack here, just so you can actually see them. There's the little handle. This does screw on, just in case. Don't try to just pull it off. It does screw on. Comes with a little scooper. And this is the bottom of the filter because it's the way that it works with the coffee. It spins the coffee around to agitate the grinds, and therefore having the water come in contact with all the grinds continuously for the amount of time, and that's how it cold brews it in such a fast amount of time rather than just letting the grinds sit in the water the entire time. So this is the bottom to this filter right here. This screws on there. This is the carafe that it all sits inside of, and here goes the lid. And then right here goes your power base. Basically, when it's all put together, you fill it up with water, you set it inside this base, turn the power on. Basically, you're just turning it on, and then the system takes care of the rest, and it works for 20 minutes, I imagine, and then you have cold brew. So I'm gonna let all this stuff dry off, and then when I come back in, we're gonna make some coffee. So catch you on the flip. Okay, we back in. I decided to do 16 ounces. I forgot to hit record in this bad boy. And what I did was 16 ounces. It tells you for 32 ounces to use 7 scoops. 7 of these scoops. So what it does is it spins intermittently to make sure that the water keeps in contact with the grounds. So it spins it to aggravate the grounds, and then it lets it settle and steep. And it does that for whatever the time frame is set on here. I set it for 10 minutes. I'm not gonna film this for the entire 10 minutes, but I just want to show you real quick that what I did was inside here, I put in 2, like I said, sorry, not 2, but 2.5 of these in there for 16 ounces. Because like I said before, it said 7 for 32 ounces. I think that might be a little too strong, but I'll see. So far it's been going for 1 minute, and I just see the water has saturated with all the grounds that are in there, so it's doing its thing. I just want to wait here and see what it looks like when it spins a little bit, so you can see what that looks like. So put this lid back on here. And it pretty much does that intermittently every like 30 or 45 seconds. So I imagine it's going to do this for, well, I'm not going to imagine, I know this based off of what's already happening, this is gonna happen for the next 10 minutes. But I can tell you right now, this water is already getting pretty dark, so I imagine whatever it's doing, it's working. You know, it's making it so the water is absorbing the coffee very well because it's pretty dark. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing for the next 7 minutes, then we're gonna come back in and see what we got. So catch you on the flip. Okay, just finished making the coffee, so if we're gonna pull this out, see what we're working with here. One-handed operation, so bear with me. Okay, let's pull this out. Let it drip down a little bit. Okay, just so you can see what it kind of looks like in there. Okay, so this is our coffee, so let's pour a cup and see what we look like. Now, what I could have done is I could have just put the lid on here, because the way that the lid is designed, it's designed here with a little spout on there and a little rubber gasket around here to seal the coffee grounds in here, and for if you pour the coffee out, it'll come out through here, so that way the grounds doesn't get mixed in with what you're pouring out. But I already didn't do that. You just saw me pour out let all the water drain out. So just give you an idea what it looks like. You do have some fines down there, as you see, so it's better to let those settle. If you don't like fines, you let them settle a little bit, and then you just slowly pour, so that way you don't get that in your actual coffee or in your glass full. Okay, just a little bit there. Give it a little tasty taste, see what you're working with. Now I will say, I mean, it tastes like watered down coffee. So definitely what I would need to do is let this go for at least the full 20 minutes, because I don't think it's sat in enough. So 5 minutes is, or 10 minutes is definitely not long enough, or maybe I need to add some more grounds. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna do this again, and this time I'm gonna fill it all the way up and do it for the max time, and then we're gonna come back in and see how she tastes it. So I'll catch you on the flip. All right, we're back in. I got it filled up to the max amount, and I filled it up. I did 7 scoops like it said in the instructions. But what I will say is that when you do it that way, you do have some grounds sitting on top of the water. So I'm gonna do it, just kind of mix that up in there a little bit, just to make sure all the coffee is in contact with the water. Okay. And we're gonna set it for the whole 20 minutes this time. And what you do that is by pressing this plus button. If you hold it down, it will go count in increments of 5. Oh, okay, I can go longer. Let's do 30 minutes. And then what you would do is hit that green button. Now that is the minus button. And then over here, once I hit start, there's a little X on there in case I need to stop it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and then you're gonna see 30 minutes. And you see that little X over there? If I wanted to, it would, I can stop this whole operation just like so. So basically I just stopped it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start it back up again, just so you can see the spinning rounds in the middle. See if I can go more than 30 minutes. Nope, 30 minutes is the max. Okay, so let's start it so you can see what it looks like in the middle. And like I said before, it does this intermittently for the 30 minutes. So we're just gonna let that do what it do and come back in. So hopefully we'll have a better cup this time, and I will catch you on the flip. All right, we back in. It's been a full hour now. I did 30 minutes times 2. So as you can see right off the bat that it is a little darker. So hopefully that translates to more of a bold taste. I also wanted to point out, also, right before I point this out, I want you to know that you're going to hear a little bit of a humming like in the background. I'll do my best to try to get rid of that in editing, but it's my tabletop ice maker. I had a bunch of people over and I had to pull out the ice machine so that way we had enough ice for our drinks and stuff like that. So just so you know, you may not even hear it, but I mean, I hear it, so I imagine it's probably going to be on the video. Anyway, back to this. On the top, when the cap is closed, you turn it to the right. To open it, you simply just turn it to the left, and it has a stop, and it stops directly at the point where you pour it out. So it's still going to seal the grounds in, and then you can just pour it directly out into your glass. So you don't necessarily have to remove the grounds like I mentioned before. But I just wanted to point out a cool thing because I thought it was just something where you just throw the cap on or whatever have you, and you just gotta, place it right yourself so that way, it comes out. Because remember, I was showing you on the bottom how it has that little indentation area. So, that cutout, I should say, to allow the coffee to pour through the spout area right here. But it does automatically turn into place. So all the way over there, and it stops, it's closed. Then you turn it this way, it stops, it's open. So just want to point that out first. So what I'm going to do here, let's lift her up. See the bottom real quick. Okay, it's nice and dark, much darker than last time. Let's pour a little glass. Before let me put a little bit of ice in there because cold brew does taste better when it's cold. Hold on, let me get some ice. Okay, just pour a little bit into the glass here. Nice little swirl. Give it a little bit of a chill on it. As you can see, not too many fines, none at all actually. So this will be a good pour. This looks like a really aged glass of whiskey. Anyway, let's give her a taste, see what she tastes like. I have to honestly say, compared to the first 30-minute cycle, this is much better. So I would say in order to get, oh, that's my ice maker dumping out the ice cubes. Well, like I was saying, compared to the first 30-minute cycle, after running 2 30-minute cycles, it is significantly better because I wasn't sure if it was me or if it was just the fact that I feel like the tastes haven't extracted enough from the grounds. So I went and I tasted another batch of cold brew that I had made with another one of my electric cold brew machines, which is the Dorothy, I'll put the review to that in the description down below or at the end of this video, or however, it'll be somewhere around here on this video. See the review for that once I do it. I had that one first, and I've had that one for a long time, and I figured, you know what, let me just finally do a review of it. Anyway, compared to that, after the first 30 minutes, this was weak. But after an hour of extraction, or however you want to call it, this is much better. The Dorothy still is a little bit better than this, but by no means is this not good at all. So I would say, they advertise that you can have cold brew in 15-20 minutes with this thing. I say in 15-20 minutes you're gonna have coffee tea. You're gonna have coffee flavored tea. You're not gonna have anything that actually tastes like coffee, to me. I say you need a good hour with this machine in order to get a full enough extraction to pass off as what one would consider a decent taste of cold brew coffee. So I would even go even further. I would say 90 minutes with this would probably be damn near perfect. I would honestly say that 90 minutes through this machine would be damn near perfect. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run it through the process for another 30 minutes and then I'm gonna come back and do a quick test and see how much bolder this could actually get. So once again, I will catch you on the flip. Okay, we're coming down to just under a minute worth of time left, and I figure I'll film this last part so you can see what happens when it's done. At least hear the chime that it sounds when it's done. So just check this out. And we are now finished. So with that, we have a 90-minute extraction. So let's pour us a quick cup and see how she tastes. This time I'm going with an ice cube from my ice machine. Okay, here we go. Doesn't look any darker than it was the last 30 minutes. So let's go. Give it a little swirly swirl. Okay, let's get a taste. Okay. All right. Cold brew the traditional way takes between 12 and 24 hours, depending on how bold you like it. This machine can achieve that in 90 minutes. I tried it at 30 minutes. It was essentially coffee flavored water. I tried it at 60 minutes and it was good. It was a okay cup of cold brew. But at 90 minutes, I'm gonna say it honestly tastes the closest to a 12-hour steep of cold brew coffee as you can possibly get. So the whole 15-20 minute claim on this, like I said, coffee flavored water. Okay, so it's more like coffee tea. All right, if you're looking for a quick cold brew and don't want to wait 12 to 24 hours, with this machine you can certainly make a good cup of cold brew in 90 minutes. You can make a fair cup of cold brew in 60 minutes. But anything less than that, you're basically making tea. All right. Speaking of which, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. I wasn't going to do it, but I figured, you know what, being that I brought up tea, I might as well come back and try to do a little quick extraction of tea. So I'm going to pour this out, clean this up, and set that up. And when I come back in, we're gonna try tea for, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes, a 10-minute tea extraction, and see what we come up with. I may do the full 30 minutes, who knows? We'll find out when I come back. So catch you on the flip. Okay, we back in, got her all cleaned out. We're gonna do some tea. I'm gonna go with this. Now these are actually tea bags, and they're saying that when you use this to make tea, it should be loose tea. And so I figure I'll just take one of these huge tea bags, because these tea bags are actually made to make about 2 quarts of tea. So, and it's supposed to be like hot brewed tea or whatever, but I'm gonna try this with my iced tea thing. Because you have to brew it hot and then pour it over ice, and that's how you get your iced tea with this. So they're saying you should use about 2 tablespoons worth of loose tea. So I figure maybe that's like 1 tablespoon, maybe it's 2. When I take it out, I'm gonna cut it open and see exactly how much it is, and we come back in. Now, one of these bags is equivalent to about 1 3/4 of teaspoons, so almost 2 tablespoons, I should say, 1 3/4 tablespoons. So it's close enough. I'm gonna run with this, and this is about the consistency that you want. You don't want the leaves to be too big, and you definitely don't want to have, as per the instructions, you definitely don't want to have tea that has pieces of fruit and stuff in it. Just want to be basic loose tea. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in here. Well, first I'm gonna fill it up to the max fill line with water, and I'm gonna pour this in here, and then we get it going. So let me set that up. Okay, we have the water filled up to the max fill line. I'm gonna go ahead and pour the loose tea in here. So you can see, this is what it looks like on the inside. Doesn't really cover up the bottom that much, but once I drop it in the water, it's going to start floating, and I'm probably just going to do a little quick mix so that way the tea leaves will get a little saturated. Let's drop this in, and just like I thought, tea leaves are floating. So let me give it a quick stir just to get a little bit of saturation going. All right, so I'm gonna put the cap on, turn it, and set it for 10 minutes. Just saying we only really need 10 minutes on this. So we're gonna start it with 10 minutes, and then if we'll need to add more, we will. So we'll do 10 minutes. Give it 10 minutes, as you can see, and hit the play or go button. Alrighty, so we're gonna let that do its thing for 10 minutes. And then when we come back in, we're gonna taste the tea, see what we're working with. So I will catch you on the flip. Okay, we got about 1 minute left on that 10-minute run. So we're just gonna let this finish up and then give her a taste. Okay, looks like we're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour myself a cup and see how she tastes. Pour out a little bit here. Give her a swirl, just to give it a little more of a chill. And this is what she looks like after 10 minutes of, you know, steeping and swirling in the machine here. So let's see how she tastes. Okay, right off the bat, I'll tell you right now, not enough time. So we're gonna do it for another 20 minutes, so it'll equal the whole 30-minute cycle, and then come back in and see how she tastes after that amount of time. So again, I will be right back. Let's go ahead and set this up for 20 minutes. Okay, and start. So we shall see when you come back in. Okay, we're done with a extra 20-minute spin cycle, so for 30 minutes total. So now I'm gonna pour myself a glass and see how she tastes. Okay, give her a little swirly swirl. It is a little bit darker, as you can see. I've spilled some out, so let's give her a taste. Okay, that's much better. Much better. So, conclusion. Coffee for a fair cup of cold brew, 60 minutes in this machine. 90 minutes for a good cup of cold brew. For a good cup of iced tea, 30 minutes with whatever, you know, tea leaves that you want to use. Now, keep in mind, it has to be the consistency that I showed you. Can't be any large leaves or pieces of fruit in it, and it can't be any fine leaves, because that's going to defeat the purpose. It's just going to slip through the filter. So if I had to make one complaint about this, is that you should, because it has a digital timer on here, why only cap it at 30 minutes? Why not make it go up to 99 minutes at least? You get what I'm saying? Because I feel that if you can just go ahead and set it for 90 minutes on this thing, you know, you wouldn't have to keep coming back and checking and restarting and all that other stuff. You just go ahead, because like I said, I just figured out that in 90 minutes you're making a good cup of cold brew. So why not just make it so you can do it? I mean, you already have the 2 spaces for 2 digits. It only goes at 30 minutes. So just make it go up to 99 minutes. I mean, that's something simple. I feel that it shouldn't be too hard to update and change. Other than that, I mean, it makes a good cup of cold brew. It does what it says. You can catch a good price on eBay, because I sure did. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I found this bad boy, or I should say I won it, for, I initially put my bid in at $10 or $12, and I ended up winning it for like $25. So, and it was like new condition. So you can definitely get one on the cheap. I'm not sure what the regular price is of it because I wasn't trying to pay for the regular price, so I just immediately went to eBay. But for 25 bucks, this is a good cold brew coffee maker in a pinch. So that way you don't have to do it the traditional way and wait 12 to 24 hours in order to have cold brew. So I would say definitely get that. I will put any links to eBay or anywhere I can find it for a low price in the description. I'm Nez, and this has been the impromptu review of the instant cold brew coffee maker. Also makes cold brew tea. Cop that. The links in the description. Like I said before, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'm out this piece.